Hello, this is Jer. Plain oxygen not included. I'm getting ready for a potential update to oxygen not included within days. Just speculating when that's going to be, but I think it's going to be on June 15th with Clayfest. So this base here, I've set up a material study terminal, and that's going to be able to provide me with advanced research. Got a power station to maximize my power output, rock crusher to get some metal. Got this living area here set up. Nature reserve, great hall, washroom and barracks, and even scientific laboratory. Actually, two of them. And at the bottom of the base, this is a spot where we're able to produce a lot of food. We've got all these hatches. Currently, we've got 13,000 calories of barbecue meat and growing. And this machine here is helping us out quite a bit. The incubator, lots of hydrogen building up. So let's keep advancing this base and see where we go. So this is one of those cycles that I'm calling Hugger down into this room in the morning to start their day off. They're transferring all these eggs over here to be reprocessed, ignoring all the eggs that already have the lullaby effect. And then we can go one by one after they pick up all the eggs. Actually, that's every single egg in this case. They're going to apply the lullaby effect here. Speed things up a little bit. Being pulled over here by this machine, and then I can go click on and incubate another egg. Let's do a check to see if there's any other critter eggs that are of interest. The pip eggs, I could make them hatch quicker. Why not? Sage eggs and stone hatch eggs. Okay, I've got to watch this. They must have been building up within. Oh, I see a sage hatch egg right there. So let's go get those dropped off so that Hugger can attend to them. So that's one egg, and I see engineer is in this sort of area that I didn't want. Engineer, you're blocked from coming here. But that is a sign of low priority tasks. So as I get Hugger over here, and hopefully this machine's now going to call them over, I can process the rest of the eggs, and I'll give instructions for the dupes to keep advancing the base. There's the stone hatch egg. While I have Hugger working on those eggs, just want to take a quick moment to look around with the heat situation in the base. I'm not so much worried about heat from industry because we're only in cycle 31. I'm more interested or concerned about heat from over here, 44 degrees down in this spot. This spot's a little further away, 44 degrees, but not terribly concerned. So probably mostly concerned about right here, a little bit over here maybe, and right here. So let's add in some insulation. So carbon dioxide was building up at the bottom of the base. Don't want to get rid of it because it's very useful for space travel. So I built a pump way down here. And I've got these gas reservoirs I'm going to store them in. So this pump has put in as much carbon dioxide as I've got. So I'm going to use the cut tool to cut power to the pump, so it stops running. Love the cut tool. So actually with the carbon dioxide gone, it makes it much easier to build down here. We want to do some insulation, so we'll start that now. But with all the carbon dioxide out of the area, I'm going to do the same thing up here with hydrogen. Let's get this gas reserve built. Oops. So welcome to the killing floor. This is where the hatches are being converted to meat. I've changed this down here so that I can automate that process and have the hatches drop down here. But engineer, you don't have your skill for Minitronics yet, but you will. So what else has happened? Oh, definitely the insulation. So I chose to put this around the 3 red areas here, here on the top of my base, and one over here. And I think I even added a little insulation down here and here. Kind of went a little crazy with this stuff, a little bit more than I usually do. So now I am ready to get out of the temperature layer to start loading this with some material that escapes as gas. So one piece of chlorine right here. I'll get one of the dupes to dig that out. And I've got a piece of slime right here with some deodorizers ready to go just underneath it. Some miners on the way. They're dupes that loves mining stuff out. So I've got bleach stone sitting right there. So I'm going to click on here right away and go to consumable or bleach stone and tell the dupes to drop it there at high priority. And then either mine or maybe one of the other dupes is going to dig this out. This is going to prevent it from turning to polluted oxygen or staying as polluted oxygen, causing a problem. So now that I've got slime sitting down there, I even have these deodorizers next to it, just in case. It's an extra precaution, but that is organic and going to be stored at that point. So I'm storing, I guess, one of each in each of these bins, but actually I could store both at both bins. It wouldn't really matter. But that allows us to now go in this zone. Maybe I'll wait till that slime is down first. And my plan is to get around this area and go up once the final bit of insulation is in. I guess we get Hugger down here. That one's already been applied. So I dug down in this area. The idea here is just to encourage the hydrogen from floating up here instead of going down over here, just so that I can get my dupes to go in here without gas masks. Now, I did dig into some chlorine, so to potentially solve that issue, I just put a hole down here. Had a little bit of carbon dioxide anyway, so that will slowly fall and go to the bottom of the base. But I would also like to try to minimize the amount of hydrogen that's here, at least while I'm exploring. So Engineer now has the Mechatronics skill, and that makes this a little bit easier. So I've got this auto sweeper, which can only access the left side of the incubator, picking up eggs that have been processed. Now we just have to wait for Hugger to get in here, and we'll be able to apply the lullaby effect on these eggs. But then further down here, I've got these eggs. If I want, I can click on some of these that don't, that does not have the lullaby effect. And this will put it up into here. Eggs to be swept. Now builder's picking them up, and they think they're putting it here because I've asked for that before. No, you don't have to manually ever do that. In fact, you can get rid of that machine altogether. Let the auto sweeper do that for you, builder. Alright, on your way. Actually, I am going to get dupes, pick up this egg, and drop it off down there. Just realized that. I will make this zone accessible by Chef, Hugger, and Engineer. Chef, if you really want, you can now enter this room, but you're blocked from this room. This is going to allow the egg processing. We'll be able to go from this to another egg, and there is auto sweeper taking that off my hand, so I don't have Hugger reapply that to the same egg twice, like is in that particular egg. We are on cycle 50, and let's look at the carnivore achievement. I've got a lot of eggs that have the lullaby effect, but all of this applying that has led to, let's have a look. We have a few achievements already, but we want to go see the carnivore achievement. There it is. It is currently sitting at 161,400, and we've got 51 cycles left. The locavore achievement, we've got about 50,000 calories left on that one. The dupes have made it up, and way up to the near top of the base. And this spot is pretty cold and might utilize that fact because the base itself is actually getting a little warm, especially around these electrolyzers. So I planted this buddy seed right here, or buddy bud plant, just in case the dupes are a little bit stressed. They can smell the flowers and get a little bit of relief. So I've loaded this hydrogen line that goes all the way to the top of the base where it's pretty cold. Made that out of granite pipe up here. And then I've sent that all the way around until we get to this point. So now I'm going to destroy this bridge. I'm going to make a cut right here. I'm going to put a bridge right here. We're going to send this through, and we'll see if this line of hydrogen that goes up and down goes in particular over all the electrolyzers, but around the living area as well. We'll get a little bit cooler because of this. Covered a saltwater geyser here. Just a regular water geyser over here. Another water producer steam vent here. And that may have been all the geysers, though I'm going around and exploring different areas of the base. Oh yeah, we got access to some lockers, so the dupes are going to be on their way to figure out what's in there. Got a pump underneath my lowest electrolyzer. It's taking in oxygen, going through this little filtering system with this sensor and gas shutoff. That is taking oxygen all the way to the top of the base, where I was able to create some gas masks here, next to a light source, of course. That oxygen is at the very top, so I've got some gas masks right here. And eventually we're going to be out in space soon enough. The other thing is I added a little bit of radiant pipes. That's just taking in the coldness. So right now I've got 25 degrees going out, 20 minus. It's warm temperatures going in, cold temperatures going out. That's the main thing, and it's taking a little bit of time to cool things down. But eventually, if it actually gets too cold, I may even have to have a shut off here to calculate or determine the temperature and determine whether it goes through there or not. But as a start off, I just put a few radiant pipes just next to the electrolyzer in the base. We'll keep an eye on temperature as we go on. I've added this temperature checking system that checks if the temperature of the hydrogen is warm. If it is, it's going up to this area. Otherwise, it will skip that zone because I don't want my base to actually get too cold. Temperature is starting to come down a little bit over here. And that's just going to prevent that from getting to being freezing temperatures. And the dupes are now out in space. They are able to get on top of this base. I might build a rocket platform when I can. And then we'll do some exploring, continuing to advance in this space. I also hear from one of my viewers that the next update of Oxygen Not Included apparently is going to be quality of life and not to do with any of the traits. Which means I may not necessarily need to restart my game, but we'll see what happens when that is officially released. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in a future episode where I'll either be advancing this space or possibly kicking off with the new update in Oxygen Not Included. Till then.